Hemos venido aquí a la Universidad de Ulster en la ciudad de Derry. Este es el campus de la ciudad de Derry, aunque esta universidad tiene otros campus en otras ciudades. Y venimos a visitar la Escuela de Sistemas Inteligentes, donde vamos a ver unas demostraciones de algunos equipos y tecnologías. Vinimos con la familia a ver esta demostración, sobre todo traer los niños para motivarlos. De paso, en esta escuela fue donde yo obtuve mi grado, y también en este edificio hace algunos años trabajaba para una empresa aquí. Aquí tenemos a Carlitos probando un sistema de realidad virtual.
See the dinosaur?
Se supone que está viendo unos dinosaurios. What is he doing? He's fighting with the dinosaurs? He's fighting.
Well, he just sort of can view it in virtual reality. You know? He thinks it's real. He can see real, whereas we just see 2D. Another one, maybe. See, what's next? That's a wee fox. Oh, just a wee demo. Good. Just jump. That's right. See the fox? Yeah. Try to reach jump. Is that real?
So wherever I look, you can see.
Yeah. Only you can see it better than us. What's there now? Look at that there. Now look down.
So there's
More time.
I will jump down.
You're down behind me. You're down behind me.
Where am I going now?
Where is she?
Look.
I looked too. I was like, oh. Wee bird?
I didn't see it.
Oh,
Can you grab a little glass?
What's down there now?
So did you start the robotics yet? Or?
No, the robotics Oh, I just shot in the motion.
Yeah. So these are some of the guys in here actually this technology for developing that. And then you have to
are you broken?
Aquí tenemos a los niños experimentando con nuevas tecnologías. Esto, cuando ellos sean adultos, esto será el pan de todos los días. Así que la intención es irlos introduciendo en la tecnología con la que vivirán cotidianamente en el futuro. Aquí en forma remota están atrapando unos bloques, manipulando en forma remota una mano
You stand back. Stand back. You hit, that's it. You have better control. That's you. Yeah. That's you now.
Ah, que lo haga yo.
Municipalities detect trees, things like that. Mars? It could, but the Mars rover is a much more complex system than this. This is more of a simplified version. Also, you can't. Well, you can. You can also go Xbox controller or a joystick, or in the case of Tiger, if we let the computer can just control. Yes, I can auto drive. And Tiger will go around the room and he will not hit any of the barriers. You will always catch mouse. One thing is these wheels here were specifically designed for us. We are the only place in all of Europe that has them. The standard model, which costs you 20 grand by the way if you're going to buy it for Christmas, only comes with wheels, but this cannot be put outside because these are prototypes. That's why they got it indoors. Being that we're standing on a recharging port, but this is the only set of robots in the entire lab which cannot be charged
Estamos
because of the rubberized wheels.
en la Escuela de Sistemas Inteligentes de la Universidad de Ulster, en el Departamento de Investigación y Desarrollo, en el Laboratorio de Robótica. Y hoy han abierto sus puertas para hacer una demostración al público en general. Y aquí tenemos un grupo de pequeños ciudadanos digitales experimentando un poco lo que vivirán cuando sean adultos.
Same way as the shopping mall, if you get lost in the mountains, it's similar to getting lost in the shopping mall. Just a matter of going around until you find the person. Okay. Well, using the camera that Tiger has, we can find a specific person just by vision. But in the case of mouse, for instance, we can rely on the gate going in there. No, from off the actually yes. The amazing thing about that guy over there is he can solve Rubik's Cube in 3 minutes. Yes. Well, my 8-minute time is just blown out of the water again. Last time I got hit by a person when they were controlling, not trusting it. That's the general algorithm that we use. You get on it? This is a fair machine.
talks about it, it tells you all about it.
He's an auto robot, isn't he?
By the robot.
Baymax is an auto robot.
And a lot of Mars curiosity.
Yes. The Mars Curiosity is an auto robot, is exactly right.
And it takes samples of rocks.
It takes samples of rocks. You're 100% right. So that's one of the reasons we might need robots, isn't it? We can't send a person up there just yet. So we'll send a robot up. Isn't that right? So why else do we need robots? They do stuff people don't want to do. Or maybe stuff that people are too risky for people to do. Okay. So sending people on the burning building, we send firefighters on. If we could send a robot in first, it'd be much better, wouldn't it? There's no risk of something getting hurt.
Charles.
A
We could send a
firefighter
robot.
robot.
Isn't that right? So this is a shadow robot hand, and it can move very much the same as our hands can move. Okay, so it's the same amount of joints. So it's one of the world's most advanced robot hands. About 2 weeks after we bought one of these, NASA bought one, because they're building a robot that can
Look,
fix
the
their
thing
spaceship.
is working.
Yep. So we woke him up. He had enough of a rest. Isn't that right? So some things we got this robot to do are take my pulse. So this robot can take our pulse, check if you're living. How does a nurse check if you're alive? You put your fingers here and take your pulse, don't they? So we get this robot to do the exact same thing and measure if I had a heartbeat. Some people say I don't have any heartbeat, but I do. Right? I promise. This one's your favourite? Which one? This one or this one? Oh, Wally. I would say Wally's your favourite, definitely. He's the Disney robot. He's the best, isn't he?
I like him.
You like him? He's definitely the best, no doubt. So this robot, along with some of the other robots, you can imagine when we get them all together, it's going to be really intelligent, smart robots. And this big robot in the background, which unfortunately isn't working at the minute, the one over here, we're going to talk about some things he's done as well.
Did a Rubik's Cube in 3 minutes.
He's done a Rubik's Cube in 3 minutes, that's exactly right. There's other things he's done too, so he's made coffee here, okay? So if we get a robot to make coffee, that's brilliant. But we need the robot to be smarter than just make coffee. We need the robot to know how you like your coffee. So if he asks you once or twice, do you take milk? Then he should remember the next time that you take milk. Isn't that right? So I don't know if Shane talked about how they recognise your
And
face.
I saw the robot like.
That's him. He's just sleeping at the minute. That's why we videoed him when he wasn't so lazy.
Yeah,
Not right?
that robot is really lazy over there.
He's really lazy. This is him doing the Rubik's Cube. Can anybody do a Rubik's Cube?
No.
No? The robot can do it in less than 3 minutes. Scary, isn't it? Took me 3 months.
Took me 5 years.
5 years? You get this dollar finished?
5 years.
Cool. So that's great because they can do stuff like that, but we needed to be smarter than that. Okay, so we needed to learn things better than or as good as us. Anyone know what the best machine in the world is? A printer? Pretty useful. Anyone else? Best machine in the world? We all have it. We all have one.
Wash machine.
Wash machine? That's a pretty good machine in fairness. They wash our clothes. Anyone else? What's between our ears?
Our brain.
Our brain. We all have a brain, don't we? Well, the last time I checked, I had one. Isn't that right? But our brain's really intelligent. And we're trying to get robots to think like that. Think like humans and learn like humans. So things like solving the Rubik's Cube. Okay? Things like being able to move your hand to lift different objects and take my pulse, check if I'm still living. Isn't that right? I'm a robot. Just a really good one. I just work that hard sometimes if you like a robot. Okay? So watch now when he's finished. Do you think he'll do it?
Aye.
Of course he will, he's nearly finished, isn't he? But he shows off. He's a wild show off. That's the only problem. So he can do that. He can make coffee. He can play with a ball on the table. He can knock a ball about. Okay, he can lift objects up and put them in shopping bags. We didn't even ask him to do that. He just learned to do that. He learned a shopping bag and he learned
Your head's going to go up. They're not going to do anything to you.
Just say what I'm told you, okay? Without doing it. I'm not doing it, okay? You just look.
All those creative thoughts are going to be recorded now.
Yeah, so whatever he's going to do now, so that will be recorded. Say for example, if I ask him to move right hand, then there will be some activation in the brain. I can see that if I ask him to move left hand. So we have couple of paradigms which are already designed. So we test on like patients. So in his case, I'm not doing anything because it takes approximately 20 to 30 minutes to prepare him, put all electrodes, and then ask him to do everything. But this is the way how I ask him to sit, and then we put a screen, and this is connected to a computer. You can see. So it's connected to a computer. So from there, I'm going to give the signal, and then he's going to respond. So what happens in the brain is, the hairs are gone. Come on. And then on top of ears, and this is occipital behind. So if somebody is seeing a movie, then I'll see activity in the back side, not on the frontal side. So like if there is a person, I ask him to move right hand, so technically what happens is there is activity left hand side because we don't know, but our control is on the other side. So if I move this, then you get activation here. If I move this, you get activation this side. So this is how it works. And I'll show you one example in which I asked him to move right hand and left hand. In activation. So if there is a red thing coming, that means that part of the brain is actually doing something. And this is an MRI image for that person. So we record image data here, we get MRI from the hospitals, and I integrate them together, and then tell where exactly in the brain the activity is happening. Because here the data is recorded from the top of your head using different sensors. But what is exactly happening inside? So that analysis we do. So I'm going to move this slowly, very slowly. So you can see something is, these colors are going to change wherever there will be activation. Red means higher activity, blue means nothing is happening, lower side. And you can see over these, small parts what's happening. See.
What did you say the person's thinking? Things are doing.
So you can see. So this is activities happening here. You can see a red portion here.
And is that to check that their brain is functioning normally, or
Basically, we can check like this. Like I'm getting Alzheimer patients who are recently.
Oh, that's me.
So recently they are diagnosed with Alzheimer, initial state of dementia.
Yeah.
And they are sent here. So I have done some experiment, playing games with them, check their memory, and then they will be on medication for 16 weeks, and then I'm going to call that patient again from the hospital, and then going to do the same thing again on see. So like for example, there was a grocery list task is there. So you are given 1 minute and you have to recall approximately 12 items. So if myself tried, I was 9 out of 12. So they were around 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Mostly were 2, 3, 3 approx. I would say on an average. But yesterday there was a lady. She came for the second time. And she was very quick in responding after medication, and she was, I think, 4, 5, she was able to speak. So that much her brain is affected with, So we measure that, and there is another project in which we see the effect of vitamins. So like they are giving vitamins for 2 years, so they are diagnosed now. And 2 years after giving vitamins, what is the activity, what is change in their brain activity, how fast it is, how quick it is, how they can remember the shapes, how can they remember the patterns. So we check different things, shapes, patterns, how good is the memory.
And it's all based on, as evidence for medication?
Yes, yeah. So we deal with drug related things, we deal with this. And mostly we go for drugs related, see the impact of that. So like one study is starting maybe next week. So children are coming from Cologne. So they are given, I think it's a study in which they will be tested for the girls who were given folic acid for 9 months and for the girls who were not given for 9 months. So we'll check both the children and then see how quick they recognize the patterns and how quick they are responding. So like patterns, shapes, pictures, and then recalling.
So it's about processing speed.
That's one thing. So like how quick they are in reacting.
Right.
So basically, I have given a 1 second time, and then in that time they have to react. So when I tried on healthy patient, we were around 65%, but mostly Alzheimer, they were zero. First second was zero. Second, if I've given them 2 seconds to respond, yes, they responded, but 3 seconds, most of them responded. So we know that it takes around 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds for a patient, but for us it's a second less. So now we will see the impact of, I'm going next month to London. So there is a Alzheimer Research UK conference. So we submitted some work and got accepted. So I'll be talking over there regarding what is happening, how is happening, what impact we have seen, where are.
Yeah, so that's basically what it is.
Yeah, very interesting. Thank you.
Well, if you want to stay here, then you can come back and do the ER and one of her groups in there, but she's done.
The computer is monitoring his brain.
This is a brain-computer interface, and the sensors measuring the brain signal. He is Karen, and with the brain signal, you can see there how it's the brain waves. We decode left and right hand movement. He measure imagine that left or right hand move, and based on that move that character left or right side. This is the
Okay, very interesting.